Hi, welcome to this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name's Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our picks and your picks, it's going to be another profitable day for you. Wednesday, November 22nd, pre-Thanksgiving Day, right? Or Thanksgiving Eve or whatever you want to call this one here in particular. Basketball plays for us today. There's a ton of NBA going on as well. There's already basketball that's already started. For college, we do have some early college games, so we will get into those first, and then we'll get into the NBA slate and get this thing rocking and rolling. So first game up for us, Kansas, Tennessee. Kansas coming off the loss yesterday, as well as to Marquette and Purdue beating Tennessee. Kansas had one of the worst, bad shooting night. Normally don't have two of those in a row, and they rarely lose two in a row with Bill Self. So in the line being only -1.5, we're definitely going to hop on the Jayhawks. So Jayhawks -0.5 first half, and then also -1.5 for the game. One more time, Kansas -0.5 first half and -1.5 for the game on that one in particular there. Next game up for us, is going to be the Creighton game. Creighton is playing Loyola of Chicago. Creighton 18.5 point favorite. Creighton, if you haven't seen them, they can light it up. They can definitely shoot the rock. So we're going to roll with Creighton today. Hopefully Loyola Chicago doesn't come with some great shooting night, but Creighton -10.5 first half and -18.5 for the game. So one more time, Creighton -10.5 first half and -18.5 for the game. The only other college game that we do have a play on is going to be Purdue Marquette, championship of the Maui Invitational. Purdue, a 3.5 point favorite. Marquette came off a fantastic night against last night at KU. I don't think they're going to have enough muster left to finish off Purdue, and Purdue just has a way of finishing off teams. But they've been so bad in the first half shooting-wise, we are only going to take the game at Purdue -3.5. So one more time, Purdue -3.5 over Marquette for college basketball. Now we'll get into the NBA slate. There is a lot of stuff going on in the NBA tonight. Of course, they're not going to play anything on Thanksgiving. So we'll get right into the meat and potatoes of the NBA slate. So Nuggets at the Magic. Magic 3.5 point home dog, 217.5 total. The one thing that the Magic do extremely well is turn you over. Okay, so and it's not that they slow the pace down. They actually play at a pretty fast clip. It just ends up being lower scoring because it's more helter-skelter defense, I think. So we're going to take Jokic over 3.5 turnovers and Jokic under 52.5 par. And I just think with the way the defense kind of plays there for the Magic and all the steals they get or bad passes and turnovers that they cause, this should lead to lower totals, period, for Jokic. And then I think he will turn the ball over 4 to 5 times tonight because he handles it so much. So one more time in that game is Jokic over 3.5 turnovers and Jokic under 52.5 par, points, assists, rebounds combined. Next game, so the second game up is going to be Wizards Hornets. Hornets 4-point home favorite, 242.5 total. So in this particular matchup, normally we stay away from Wizards and Hornets games, but I'm telling you, both these teams can score, especially when nobody's playing defense. And thank God in this game for them, nobody will play defense. So the Wizards Hornets over 58.5 first quarter, over 118 for the first half, and over 242 for the game. So one more time, Wizards Hornets over 58.5 first quarter, over 118 total first half, and over 242.5 total for the game. Also, we love LaMelo Ball over 44.5 par, which is points, assists, rebounds combined, and the LaMelo Ball over 3.5 threes. So that one more time on the LaMelo props in that game, over 44.5 par, and then over 3.5 threes. So next game up on the slate is Bucks Celtics. Should be a barn burner on this one. Celtics at home, favored by 5, 234 total. We're going to kind of sit back and kind of just enjoy this game. I think it should be great. Should be pretty offensive, but we do have one play, and that's going to be Giannis over 44.5 par, and he's just been so dominant so far. I think he's got 5 straight games now with over 35 points. He's been on a tear. We think he's going to continue to tear. All he really needs is 30. If he gets 30 points, he'll get the rebounds and assists to get to 45. As he seemed to be good for 12 rebounds a night So if we just get to that 30 point mark, the rest of it should take care of itself over 45.5 par for Giannis. Next game up is going to be Raptors Pacers. If you got a chance to watch the Pacers last night, putting up over a 300 total, that was awesome. They moved the ball. Halliburton is if you don't know who he is, you need to pay attention really quick if you like basketball. Pacers 3.5 point favorite at home, right around 3.5, 238.5 total on that one there. We do like the Pacers and we do like to get over, so we'll give you the over 58.5 total first quarter, over 116.5 total first half, and over 238.5 for the game. We also like the Pacers -1 first quarter, -2 first half, and -3.5 for the game. We also love Halliburton, as we have most of the season. Halliburton over 39.5 par. I guess they're giving the Raptors a little bit of cred there, as normally he's been around 40. And then also Halliburton over 11.5 assists, and he seems to throw 12 dimes up like it's going out of style. So one more time, there's a lot of plays in this Pacers game, so I'll go through them again here for you. Over 58.5 total first quarter, over 116.5 total first half, over 238.5 total for the game. Pacers -1 first quarter, -2 first half, and -3.5 for the game. Halliburton over 39.5 par. Halliburton over 11.5 assists in that particular match, in those games there. So, or in that game there, sorry. Next game up, Nets Hawks in Atlanta. Atlanta 3.5 point favorite, 234 total. We just have one play in this game. It's going to be Mikal Bridges over 33.5 par. That's points, assists, rebounds combined. So Mikal Bridges over 33.5 par in that particular matchup. Next game up on the schedule is going to be Heat Cavaliers. We have nothing for you. The Cavs ended up beating the 76ers last night. That's why they're a 2.5 point home dog. Heat got some. It's just hard to tell what Heat team you're going to get, and that makes it, like, the inconsistency almost makes it impossible. So we're going to stick away from that matchup. Next one, Clippers at San Antonio. San Antonio 8.5 point home dog, 231.5 total in this particular matchup, and we only have one play, and that's going to be Wembanyama over 1.5 blocks. So one more time in that Clippers Spurs game, Wembanyama over 1.5 blocks. Next game up, 76ers T-Wolves. This line's bounced around in different books between 4 and 5, with the T-Wolves being favored, 221 total. 76ers come off a back-to-back with a loss to the Cavs, having to travel to Minneapolis. We just think that the back-to-back is going to be the issue for the 76ers in that particular matchup. So we are going to take T-Wolves -1.5 first quarter, T-Wolves -2.5 first half, and -4.5 for the game. And then we're going to go to Anthony Edwards for 3-player props. Anthony Edwards over 24.5 points, over 2.5 made threes, and over 34.5 par points, assists, rebounds combined. So one more time in that T-Wolves and 76ers game. T-Wolves -1.5 first quarter, -2.5 first half, -4.5 for the game. Anthony Edwards over 24.5 points, over 2.5 3-pointers made, and over 34.5 par points, assists, rebounds combined. Anthony Edwards needs to get involved in the offense in the first quarter. This waiting around to the fourth quarter shit's getting a little out of control. If he gets involved early, I think they can take control of this game and kind of ride this thing out and, let Philly just kind of, fold it up as it's in, like I said, back-to-back games on there. So nobody wants to play back-to-backs, and they're one of them for sure. So Bulls, Thunder, next game up. Thunder, somewhere a 6.5, 7-point favorite. They are at home. Thunder are one of the best teams in the league, and people aren't paying attention yet. Now, I will say this. I think once they start playing a little bit more meatier part of the schedule, where they have to play some better teams, I think you're going to see some losses, but the Bulls are definitely not one of those teams. The Bulls are absolutely like one of the worst NBA teams to watch. Maybe worse than the Wizards. At least the Wizards are running up and down the floor, but it just looks discombobulated all over the place when you're looking at the Bulls. So we are taking the Thunder in this matchup, as we have almost all season long. So Thunder -2 first quarter, Thunder -3.5 first half, and then -6.5 for the game. Also, Chet Holmgren over 1.5 blocks. We go to this one a lot, as he normally is good for 2 blocks, but we also go to his turnovers. They are over 2.5 turnovers instead of 1.5, but it is plus money, so we're going to hop on that one. And then also SGA over 42.5 par, points, assists, rebounds combined. If he gets his 30, the rest of it, he'll get 43 par. The question is, can he get his point total? Even if he has a bad shooting or a worse shooting night, let's say only gets 24 to 26 points, he can dish the ball. Normally we look at Chet Holmgren here, but his normal par number at around 25.5 all of a sudden jumped to 29.5. And the Bulls slow down the pace of play, so it's hard to get that particular number. But I think you're going to see a lot of SGA shooting the ball from the mid-range, which is where he lives and where he makes his money on that one there. So next game up is going to be Grizzlies-Rockets. Pass. Nothing on that particular game. Kings-Pelicans. Kings 1.5 point favorite, playing the Pelicans again. 236 total. We're just going back to basically the two bets that we had before on the night before, and they kind of went on back-to-back nights, couldn't put it together. But De'Aaron Fox's point total is now down to 27.5, so we're going to go over 27.5 points. And then Sabonis over 40.5 par, points, assists, rebounds combined. So one more time in that Kings-Pelicans game, De'Aaron Fox over 27.5 points, and Sabonis over 40.5 points, assists, rebounds combined. Next game up, Warriors-Suns. Make sure you check out the Google Sheets at the end of this episode to see if we play anything here. The Suns coming off a back-to-back, 1.5 point favorite. They have not been cover machines by any stretch. They pushed the spread last night. The two games in Utah that they won, they didn't cover either one of those. That defense is just, and turning the ball over, it makes it really worrisome. So it's hard to back that team with the amount of turnovers and then also the lack of defense that they've been playing. Next game up, Jazz Trailblazers might be the worst game of the night. We do not have anything on that particular matchup. Then we get into the late game of the day, Mavericks, Lakers, Mavs at LA. LA 3-point home dog, 241 total. This is coming off the back-to-back. We're going to try to take advantage of LeBron and AD on these back-to-back nights, and this is where we're going again here, especially since the Mavs did not play last night. So Mavs -0.5 first quarter, Mavs -1.5 first half, and -3 for the game. Also, Luka over 30.5 points and over 47.5 par. So one more time in that matchup there, we got Mavs -0.5 first quarter, Mavs -1.5 first half, and -3 for the game. Luka over 30.5 points and over 47.5 par. So I mentioned before, make sure you do check out the link in the comment section to the Google Sheets. It'll have a list of all of our bets that we have, what juice we got, how many units wagered, and what book we placed those at. I will tell you this, there are going to be a couple more bets on there, so we've probably got a couple team totals to look at as well. And then also, that Suns-Warriors game, we might have a couple plays that we're going to play in there, so do make sure you check out the Google Sheets and check that out. Another profitable night in basketball last night on that one there, so we'll take that along with the college football winnings. It was a really good day for us. So we're planning on having another great night tonight. Basketball basically is off for Thursday, but we will be back later today with our Thanksgiving football games. So if you're into football, Google Sheets will also tell you all the football plays. So there are 4 down there just when you get in there, just football of last year, baseball that ended earlier this month for this year, also football, and then basketball all have separate sheets. But for basketball, you just got to go to the basketball page, scroll down to November 22nd, and you can see all of these plays that we've got going on here. So make sure you do check that out when you get some time. Also, make sure you subscribe and get notifications to the YouTube channel. So when we drop our bets, you get those first. Gives you plenty of time to match them up with your bets and give you that ton of confidence you need heading to the betting app or betting window in order to make some money. So make sure you get that done, especially when you subscribe and turn notifications on. You get notifications to your device every time. Makes life really simple. Don't have to do a lot of searching on YouTube for us. I do appreciate everybody's support as always, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.